Two minutes and 42 seconds of boner-killing logos and opening credits. Sexy opening shot for sure, but sex in this position is the absolute least kind of easy and enjoyable. Also, this guy's a mirrored ceiling, so that the person on bottom can pretend to be an extremely tall peeping Tom to his or her own sex act. This is definitely Sharon Stone, because when you watch this movie during an incredible triple bill with Sliver and The Specialist, you get to know a body pretty well. Anyway, she's gonna kill this guy, but the movie's gonna fight really hard to make us believe it's not Sharon Stone for the next 2 hours and pin it on someone else. Bondage play. How in the hell were they rolling around on this bed with this ice pick hidden in the sheets without either exposing it or altering its hidden position somehow? This guy never learned where the G-spot is and paid the ultimate price. Carl Malden isn't Michael Douglas's partner on these streets of San Francisco. Cops keep a murder weapon in a freezer bag that could easily puncture a freezer bag.
Very impressive.
He got off before he got off.
Hilarious, but she was clearly riding his dick when he died, which means his semen would have been inside her, and she would have had to do the shimmy hula shake on her way off the bloody bed for there to be semen stains everywhere.
You're wasting your time. Catherine didn't kill him.
Yeah, that's definitely not a statement worth following up on whatsoever. Just BFFs being BFFs. No one answers after 2 seconds of knocking, so naturally the cops go snooping around.
Miss Trammell?
My response to your lack of response will require the removal of my sunglasses. The Golden Gate Bridge isn't being destroyed by anything in this scene. Jean Triplehorn is Ben Stiller's girlfriend in this scene.
My sex life's actually pretty shitty since I stopped seeing you.
How doesn't anyone in the police department know that these two were together at one point?
Started developing calluses.
You, sir, have been jerking off incorrectly then.
Now you tell IA I'm just your average, healthy, totally f***ed up cop. And let me out of here.
Yes.
Well, that was easy. Didn't you just imply the decision wasn't yours to make?
How long we gotta keep doing this?
As long as Internal Affairs wants you to, I suppose.
Who's in charge of this thing?
I still miss you, Nick.
Well, that's professional.
She published a novel last year under a pen name. Want to know what it's about? It's about a retired rock and roll star who gets murdered by his girlfriend.
So, Catherine Trammell and anyone who knew her and the rock star and read that book. So basically your suspects are like two people reading.
You know how she does the boyfriend? With an ice pick. In bed, his hands tied with a white silk scarf.
The book has all this information conveniently displayed on the first page illustration, but you still had to read 1/4 of the book to find the parallels? If someone wants to murder you in a bizarre way, making them sleep on the couch will not prevent this. So Catherine wrote a story based on the well-known Nazareth song, and it required 400 pages to tell.
Well, what if the writer did it, then what are we dealing with?
You're dealing with a devious, diabolical mind.
Or a pretty stupid one. The entire focus of the case will be on you, the writer, and if you made any mistakes, then you're done.
She intended the book to be her alibi.
By strictly law terms, alibi simply means that you were elsewhere when the crime took place. It does not mean I wrote a book about the exact same killing, and that would be stupid if I duplicated the murder in real life.
You know there's no case here. You've got no physical evidence.
And why is that, by the way? That guy was getting nailed by some hot chick, and surely her DNA was all over him, unless the sex we saw at the beginning of the movie was performed with privacy towels or some shit. If not Catherine's DNA, then someone's DNA would be there. Except for 2 paragraphs above the fold concerning Nick, every single article on this newspaper is written with vague discussions about things concerning whatnots.
Thought you didn't have any cigarettes.
Nick would be great at CinemaSins, but is horrible at detective work.
Oh, I found some in my pocket.
They're always in the last place you think of looking.
You make stuff up. It has to be believable. It's called suspension of disbelief.
Like how I'm being asked to currently believe that a billionaire chick is about to deliberately show her vagina to police detectives during an interrogation? Like that? I guess let's interview her in the shooting gallery. Here we go, the amazing interrogation room set up for the ultimate male fantasy. We have a camera set up, that's good. She's going to sit 10 feet away from the nearest desk, giving everyone a good view. Yep, this is your average everyday murder inquisition here.
There's no smoking in this building, Miss Trammell.
What are you gonna do? Charge me with smoking?
No? Somehow she's allowed to keep smoking because apparently the alternative is to charge her with smoking, rather than simply taking her cigarettes away.
Did you kill Mr. Boz, Miss Trammell?
I'd have to be pretty stupid to write a book about killing and then kill somebody the way I described it in my book.
I agree, but who would be the other suspects?
Writing the book gives you an alibi.
Yes, it does.
There's that word again, alibi. This word you keep using. I do not think it means what you think it means. Also, you just lit a fresh cigarette less than 2 minutes ago. She has no ashtray. Where did she put the one she finished before lighting this new one?
Have you ever f***ed on cocaine, Nick?
Look, Catherine's pretty hot. I get it. But these supposed professional detectives get derailed after one question. 5 guys in here, and not one says, "We'll ask the questions, Miss Trammell, and you can cover that beaver while you're at it."
Have you ever f***ed on cocaine, Nick?
Gordon Gekko has definitely f***ed on cocaine. You'd think we'd take 5 sins off for this, but my boner is way too suspicious of that woman to allow it.
Didn't you ever f*** anybody else when you were married, Nick?
How'd you know he was married?
Damn it, that's not the point. Is anyone going to take control of the questioning in this farce?
Would you like a cigarette, Nick?
What the f*** did you do with the last one? The second one, which you never even smoked?
Wait here, please.
Who's in the room zooming the camera to her face?
It's either she's telling the truth or I've never seen anyone like her.
Or polygraphs are notoriously unreliable. Huh, it was such a pretty day earlier. Now it's rainy. The world must be able to detect the perfect ambiance for whatever's happening in Nick's life.
If I was guilty and I wanted to beat that machine, it wouldn't be hard.
Oh, it'd be hard, all right. If you're beating it, it has to be. Oh, wait, you're talking about the lie detector test, aren't you? Never mind.
No, Chucky, give me double blackjack in the rocks, please.
Catherine's vagina is enough to get Nick back on the sauce.
I haven't had a drink in 3 months. All right with you, cowboy?
Fun fact, if you count up the number of times someone in this movie says shooter, hoss, or cowboy, you'll literally pass out before you finish. It's like a drinking game, only you don't even have to drink. Oh, Nick does.
Hey, shooter. Now, are you back on the blackjack? Shooter?
Coworker taunts alcoholic for being an addict.
Here comes a shrink. Just in time to save her favorite patient.
Damn, Internal Affairs knows that they've been banging each other? Is anyone professional in this department?
You wanna go?
Yes.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you close the deal. A sex scene that is virtually rape is about to happen here, but I'd like to point out that none of these people doing aerobics across the street see it happen for some reason. Cop slop. Nick is a dick to this chick I'm pretty sure she just said no. So, sin for the guy continuing, or for the movie continuing. You pick. Michael Douglas. Man, that was some good sex. Let us now gather several pillows from the nearby couch, arrange them on the floor, and spoon.
I met her at Berkeley.
Why didn't you tell me?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, so this isn't suspicious at all. Nick's detective brain stops working completely, even post-coitus. This many cars are traveling this f***ing road this close together? Full f***ing shit. But still, hilarious. Is this how you tail people? And I don't know if you know this or not, Nick, but she knows what your car looks like. She's been in it, remember? There's pretty much no way he finds her now. She could have gone anywhere. I mean, come on. She got away. Shit. Dude, exactly how bad are you at copping? Have you ever thought of maybe parking the car further away and walking to the house so she doesn't see your car? Not breaking and entering. We find out later that Hazel Dobkins killed her husband and her 3 kids, but apparently gets out after 9 years of prison time. Andy Dufresne is pissed.
Hazel Dobkins.
You know her?
Couldn't get it out of my head for years.
You mean a murder case that's 36 years old and happened when you were, 11? Was in your head for years? Yep, all these newspapers have the same nonsense articles as the last one. How did Catherine learn so much about Nick with these articles?
Your wife knew too. That's why she killed herself.
Ah, surprise dead suicide wife.
You're gonna make a terrific character, Nick.
Casual lesbianism. Wait, that's not a sin. But my cliche male interest in seeing 2 hot women kiss is, so ding that shit.
It's a confidential psychiatric record. It would be illegal.
Because, as we know, you're all about keeping things on the up and up. Is this guy holding a f***ing gun to Nick's head? Is that really how cops break up fights between other cops? Really?
She knows where I live and breathe.
Maybe it's time to get a new detective on the case. Lying on the couch, slowly going through a bottle of whiskey while watching The Jeffersons? Yep, this guy's definitely an alcoholic.
Go away, Beth. I don't want to see you.
Entering.
Still have my key.
But why? Hey look, a Bart Simpson keychain, and Nick keeps his iron on the fridge. I must be going mad. Don't worry guys, this is sex in their world.
So I made a deal with him to review the session notes himself.
Okay, so if she's not objective, then her session notes aren't going to be objective either. So what did he hope to prove? Why didn't he get an independent therapist to check him out? This is what comes on after reruns of Jeffersons. Hellraiser.
I'm on my way.
Drunk driving. Okay, so Nilsson's dead. I have no clue why they'd call Nick in on this case. He's definitely not an objective person when it comes to this guy.
Give me your gun, Nick.
Yes, let's do this at the crime scene rather than, the police station and shit. Also, if you thought he might be involved with this, why didn't you arrest him at his house? This is perfect police procedure, I'm sure. Yes, Your Honor, I took the gun from Nick, not wearing any gloves, of course, and then I did the proper sniff test, and then gave it to someone else who probably pissed on it to see if it could hold urine. Michael Douglas isn't wearing a white dress, so we can see his junk when he crosses his legs in this scene.
There's no smoking in this building, Detective.
What are you gonna do, charge me with smoking?
Wah, wah.
Going after him before gets you off the hook for killing him. That's your alibi.
Haha, no, it really doesn't.
You're going on leave.
For the possible murder, or the definite assault on the IA guy that dozens of people saw and he should have been disciplined for already.
Thank you.
It's the least I could do.
You know, for pummeling me against a chair a couple of days ago.
What was she like in school?
Hardly knew her.
This guy is seriously a horrible detective to keep ignoring these clues about Beth that keep jumping up and down in his face.
You stay in touch with Dr. Garner. It'll help on the evaluation.
She killed him, Phil.
Nick plays the pronoun game so that Lieutenant Walker thinks he means Beth, which is kind of clever, I'll grant, but it's still the pronoun game.
Kmart, $1.65.
I bet a bag of not solid ice would have been cheaper.
It's about a boy who kills his parents. They have a play and he makes it look like an accident.
They have a play? And he makes it look like an accident? I'm still working my head around that one. Does he kill his parents in a play? Also, shouldn't he already know about this book? Since, the investigation. Narc, 3 minutes of clubbing. Yep, she's sitting on the toilet in a nightclub. Cocaine, man, it's a hell of a drug. Dance spying. I'm eating you out, face. Take that thrust. Why is he licking his fingers? Doesn't he know where those things have... Oh. This must be how you stimulate a woman's tonsils. Uvula stimulation. Sounds dirty, but it ain't. Catherine is addicted to orgasms. You know, some people might get a little nervous when they see the scarves come out during sex, but sometimes you look at the prime suspect in a murder case and go, why not? Also, guy who was working the sex murder of a dude that played out exactly like this still lets himself be tied up with a scarf, because, as you know, the power of boners is stronger. Jeez, what a murder tease.
Let me ask you something, Rocky. Man to man.
That's racist. Look at the size of that radio/cassette player. The fucking 90s, man. Note a few words accidentally inspires terrible Leonardo DiCaprio movie 8 years later. Arg, I hate notes about the beach.
You shouldn't play this game.
Why not? I like it.
You're in over your head.
Maybe, but this is how I'll catch my killer.
What, are you a method f***er?
Not gonna confess all my secrets, Nick, just because I have an orgasm.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear any of the words you said before orgasm.
But I'll nail you anyway.
You can put that in your book.
Did you drive an hour outside the city in order to have a 5-minute coy conversation with this chick and then drive back to the city? Gus clearly loses the lid to the hot sauce when he sets it down, but then magically it reappears in its proper place. Drunk driving. Ferrari versus Mustang chase somehow lasts a lot longer than it should. This car survives this. Poor dead Roxy. Your greatest crime was deciding that the best way to kill the man f***ing your lesbian girlfriend was with a Ferrari. Also, considering all the guys Catherine f***s, why does she hate Nick so much? And we never find out why.
She seduces people. She manipulates people. She'll do anything she can.
I thought you hardly knew her.
God, Nick, now she's practically telling you she's the killer, even though she isn't, which is weird.
Everybody that I care about dies.
Oh my god, I just realized this movie and So I Married an Axe Murderer are basically comic and drama versions of the same story. My mind is blown.
Make love to me.
Yeah, f*** the sadness out of her. Movie that is all about shoving the sex in your face inexplicably skips over an entire lovemaking scene.
There was this girl I met when I was in college.
Whoop, whoop, red alert, red alert.
She started following me around, taking my picture. She dyed her hair, copied my clothes.
You may have seen the movie Single White Female. Yeah, that was her.
She got that magna cum laude pussy on her that done fried up your brain.
Magna cum laude pussy doesn't fry the brain. It sets the dick on fire. But I wouldn't expect a guy like you to understand. These 3 tiny pages of names encompass the entire amount of work Nick did on this case. Also, he bothered to write down Lisa Oberman's name, the woman Catherine just happened to pillow talk about. We know Catherine purposely told him the name, but she is really overestimating his detective skills.
Are you sure about that? There can't be a mistake.
Only if you're making it, detective.
You whore! I mean, you're probably right.
I said Hoberman.
Actually, no, you didn't.
Lisa something. Oberman.
I know you're playing games with Nick, but what possible plus outcome did you expect from messing up the name?
Hoberman. Lisa Hoberman with an H. You do.
Dude, if you can get this information with a simple phone call, then why did you bother going down and standing in line the first time? This guy is looking directly at the screen, and he doesn't think it's weird that the department psychologist's name just came up.
It's Dr. Garner, isn't it?
You think?
I slept with her once in school. I was just a kid. I was experimenting.
Any flashbacks about that particular time you'd like to remember for us? No? Damn it.
She styled her hair like mine. She wore the same kind of clothes I did.
You know the movie Single White Female? That was her.
She knows you'd find out who Lisa Hoberman is. You're a good cop.
So who'd you say you're with?
Homicide, San Francisco.
Okay, buddy, that checks out. With my brain, which just decided to swallow whatever you say without confirming it.
My book's nearly finished. My detective's almost dead.
Damn, she writes fast. Didn't she just say she decided to base the character on him like 4 or 5 days ago, tops? Movie thinks that people do this after sex. Hey, that is not a parking spot, asshole.
Dr. Joseph Garner?
Well, you know,
He died about 5 or 6 years ago.
how did he die?
He was shot.
What was Beth hoping would happen when she told Nick about changing her name because of the husband? Why couldn't she have just said she did it because she didn't want Catherine to find her, or some other lie that didn't involve enough truth that he'd find this shit out? What the hell is wrong with people? Whether she did or didn't kill him, this is stupid. Why does the elevator open on the 2nd and 3rd floors when Gus only pressed the 4 button? Did the killer go to each floor and hit the up button so that she could play some weird elevator game? An elevator game of murder. Well, this is what Minority Report called an orgy of evidence, but I'm guessing this police department won't look at it the same way. I wonder if they'll bother looking at the DNA evidence later and find Beth anywhere in that rocker dude's house. Probably not. Also, what's this guy's deal? Picking up evidence with his bare hands?
Ballistics says the .38 we found in her apartment was used on Nilsson.
How f***ing fast does ballistics work? Isn't this the same evening? Like, a couple hours after they found the gun? Jeez, what a murder tease again. Tease 3! So here's the ice pick that will confuse you for the rest of your life. You're pretty sure Beth did it, but she didn't. Still, all that stupid lying she did cast out because it was stupid lying. It made no sense. Whatever. Nick's boned. 2 different ways.
Scum stains all over the sheets.
Kane was a man who got everything he wanted and then lost it. Maybe Rosebud was something he couldn't get or something he lost.
Now, don't you tell me you don't remember me, because I sure as heck fire remember you.
Do you like sex, Mr. Lebowski?
Excuse me?
Sex, the physical act of love. Coitus. Do you like it?
I was talking about my rug.
You're not interested in sex?
You mean coitus?
I've tried everything. The embassy, the German government, consulate. I even talked to the UN ambassador. It's no use. I just can't bring my wife to orgasm.
Hey, shooter. Now, are you back on the blackjack? Shooter.
I'll eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Tell me, Nikki, were you frightened last night?
That's the point, wasn't it? That's what made it so good.
You shouldn't play this game.
They won't stop, Nick. They just you and they you and they you. Then just when you think it's all over, that's when the real starts.
So what is this for? What are you selling?
It's a game, specifically tailored for each participant. Think of it as a great vacation. Except you don't go to it. It comes to you.
Do you know what your problem is?
What's my problem?
Sex and nervousness.
Sex and nervousness is my problem.
Yes.
But why do you need to wreck this company? Because it's wreckable, all right?
8 years. This would be your first actual murder scene. Yeah. I worked homicide before I went federal. This is what we'd call an orgy of evidence. Know how many orgies I had as a homicide cop, Gordon?
How many?
None.